Hello everyone, this is Rosanna Doro, right for shorts, and you're on to Read Time with Rai. If you're live and you're there joining me, please indicate so I'll know you're here. Just say something so I'll know that you're with me. I'm sorry this is earlier than it should be. It's because I've been really busy and I have to travel for an engagement, so that's why I shifted it. This will only happen, I think, this week, so please bear with me. From next week we will have it at our usual time, at 4 p.m. at 8 p.m. sorry. So our topic for today is thank you for joining me. Our topic for today is emotional vulnerability, or excesses of emotional vulnerability. Am I too needy? We're going to be looking at, while I wait for people to come in, those of us who are here already, we're going to be looking at why what's the difference? Is there a difference between being too emotionally needy and being vulnerable? Is it okay to be vulnerable? And then I'm going to give us instances or examples. Hello, Mata. Thank you for joining me. Instances and examples of where I can show you that you're either being too needy or too vulnerable, and how it affects relationship and all. So on the comment section, as usual, you would see a pinned comment of all my social media platforms, and of course, if you need to get to me, how you can do that. So now, being emotionally needy and emotionally vulnerable, there's a fine line, there's a thin line. It's not the same, but there's a thin line. Everybody saw, like, just the way people say, oh, you have to, hi Bedrock, thank you for joining me, you have to be have to some form of jealousy when you're in a relationship. And I hope we understand that when I'm talking about being needy or being vulnerable, I'm referring to interpersonal relationship. That's like when you're in a relationship, you're going out with someone, or sometimes people are actually also too needy when they are even friends with people. Yeah, but basically in the confines of relationship, and with friends, good platonic friends too, that can come in. Yes. So when you're needy, it's okay to be vulnerable. Vulnerability, let me start with vulnerability. To be vulnerable is where you put yourself out there. It's like saying someone has been hurt before, and then the person is now willing to love again. So being vulnerable means you put yourself out there, but you're confident. That's where the fine line now between being vulnerable and being needy. You're confident that it doesn't matter what you get back, feedback that you get back from the person you're being vulnerable to. You're confident in your own skin. You know yourself. You're okay with allowing yourself to be loved, or with loving. You understand? So you're being open, because being vulnerable means you're being open, to someone. You're letting the person, Francisca, thank you for joining me. You're letting the person, you're available to love, or you're, showing the person you care, or you're not afraid to step on eggshells. You're not being too careful with this person. You're relaxed. You're enjoying your relationship. You want to enjoy your relationship, actually. And so you are vulnerable at that point. You are allowing yourself to be free, for your weaknesses to be seen. You're allowing the person see through you. There's nothing wrong. In fact, this builds a healthy relationship. Where there's a problem is where this becomes an excess, where you cannot do anything without this person. Now, neediness is what I'm trying to explain now. You become too attached with this person. Without this person, you are nothing. Another key thing to know that you're needy and not just being like vulnerable or being open to love is that you are always, wanting sympathy for this person. And in your head, there's a prearranged, hello, Katie, thank you for joining me. There's a prearranged notion of how you want the person to react. If you're ill, there's a way you want the person to react. Or go to the apteker, go to the pharmacy. The person should go to the pharmacy. The person should go to, this is how the person should be able to sleep over. The person should be able to care for. The person should be able to ask me 100 times how I'm feeling now, how I'm doing now. That's being too needy. You have a conception or a preconceived notion of how this person should react at certain instances or situations that will come, in your life or in the relationship. And that's very wrong. Because if you are believing, that the person must act this way or must be. The person may express love differently. So on the comment section too, I think it will be placed love language, because the person understands love differently, or shows his love language differently. So you shouldn't expect or have a notion that, okay, if I'm ill, this is how the person who is in a relationship with me should behave, or this is how he should act, or if I say I don't have money, this is what he should do, or this is what she should do. That's being needy. You're too clingy. You cannot live outside this person. Do you have friends, outside this person? These are ways now if you're needy. I'm going straight to the topic because I really don't have time. So how do you know you're needy? Can you live outside? It's your happiness dependent on this person, or you are okay, in your own skin. And also, if you're being corrected, do you see it as a problem? Now, you must understand that there's also a confusion with being too needy and when someone is not emotionally available. Because you see, I can be acting normal, I can be vulnerable, I can be open to love, open to correction, open to see how the relationship can take me further. But if the person is not emotionally available, there's nothing I will do. I will hit a brick wall. I'm going to hit a brick wall, because in that instance, the person is not just available, emotionally. So we have to know, like I've said this before, some people think they're in a relationship, but they are not. They are actually in a relationship with themselves. The person is just being sympathetic to their cause, and this is where neediness causes, because the person, you begin to tell the person, if you leave me, I'm going to die, or I cannot do without you, break and come back. The person believes that, you shattered my world. I understand that breakup are bad, or it affects, and if you love someone and the person is not with you, you may go through some things, but that does not mean your world ends. It's a lie. If the person breaks up with you, your world does not end. If the person breaks up with you, you move on. There are 7 point something. In fact, right now, I learned that we're getting to 8 billion in the world. Are you telling me that you will not find someone else? There is always someone for you out there. The problem with us is you just believe that because you love this person, that person becomes the center of your world. And if that person is the center of your world, you begin to disturb the person unnecessarily. The person must call you 10 times. And this is how you start, getting jittery. You start thinking, in fact, this is, it may lead to mental health. You may start getting crazy, because you start thinking, okay, why didn't he call? I've sent the text. This is 10 minutes. Why has he not responded? Or why has she not responded? What is she doing? Who is she with? I heard her laughing at the background when I called her. What is going on? You become hysterical. You become crazy, because you do not have a life outside yourself. Do you do another way to know if you're needy is, do you do any activity outside this person? It could even be a spouse. It's not just relationship only. Even a spouse. Do you have something you do alone? I know the two has become one in spouse, but don't overclock, don't overburden somebody or become too needy. Like I'm saying, you're gumming, you become a gum, a glue. The person cannot breathe. You suffocate the person. What do you do on your own? Do you take a run on your own? Do you take a walk on your own? Is there something you do outside your part? I'm not saying now things that would lead to cheating and all that. That's a different ball game. If someone wants to cheat, the person will cheat. It's not because I'm having my private space that will make the person not cheat. But what I'm trying to say is, the person is able to have a life even if the person is with you. When you become too needy, the person does not even know how to act around you. Hello Ephraim, thank you for joining me. You begin to say, oh, I don't know why you're doing this. I don't know why you're doing that. That is being too needy. There are some things you can do on your own. You are a human being. And the most people who fall prey to this being so needy, I know that the percentage is high for men too, but most of the time are ladies. You can do without this person. Or even as you are in the relationship with this person, there are certain things you could do for yourself. I understand that there are things people should do for people. If I'm in a relationship with you or I'm married to you, there are things you should do for me and there are things I should do for you. But when it becomes that you can't do anything outside this person, it's a problem. You become too dependent on this person. And that's what has been affecting us women, especially in Africa. You're too dependent on the person that even to make the slightest decision, you cannot. You must ask the person. I'm not saying, every relationship, like I said, is dynamic. Every marriage is also dynamic. So it depends on how you guys, act or do your things. But there are some things you should be able to take decisions yourself. There are some things you should be able to do yourself. Because that's what happens when the man is no more, the widow is now helpless. You don't even understand the business the person is doing. There's nothing because everything was done for you. Everything was taken care of for you by the man. And so there is a problem because you were too needy emotionally. You can't even think. The man thinks for you. So why are you human? You're not an animal. Even animals think. I have seen where dogs want to cross the road and they look left and right before they cross. So they think. Why don't we think? You know, this emotional needs, again, most of the time now comes again from background. Some people grew up, you know, being emotionally needy. You know, the parents didn't understand that, okay, this is the time my children have grown up, my children are now adults, I can relate to them as friends and all that. You know, there was never a time like that. So the person grew into adulthood always thinking the person is a child. And so when the person comes to a relationship, the person behaves as a child because everything was taken care of the person for the person before. There was nothing that made the person responsible. There was nothing that made the person mature. So everything, you know, that happened to the person while growing up, the person's upbringing, the person, they taught for him, they did everything for him or her. So the person finds it difficult to make a decision or to stay with the person. And then again, another thing that makes people too needy or where emotional vulnerability becomes in excess is when people are afraid of being lonely. You know, I know you can be in a relationship, you can even be married and be lonely. I understand that fact. But sometimes it's good to be on your own. It helps you think. It helps you clear your head. It helps you know, even the Bible says we should take stock. So it helps you take stock. It helps you know, oh, this is where I was. This is where I want to go and all that. So it's good for you to think. It's good for you to be alone. So most people are afraid of being alone. So they become too needy. You know, I must have somebody in my life. And that's the reason why people stay in messed up relationship. That's the reason why people stay in relationships that are not viable. They stay in unhealthy relationship because they need to just have someone with them. There's a time where you should be alone, where you should now be able to draw out your dreams, your visions, your aspirations. There's an alone time. And then of course, there's a time where you come together now that you have a partner and all. So when you don't even know what you want for yourself, as an individual. So when you now have a partner, what would you be doing? What would you be thinking? So please, to be emotionally needy is bad. You drive the person away. In fact, there are some guys that have ended relationship, or some ladies too, because the guys too, although I said the percentage is more on the lady side, who are too needy and has cost them their relationship. Because some people, so there are some people who are not just ready to babysit. And then you start manipulating. Most needy people are manipulative. They begin to manipulate and say, hey, you don't love me. If you love me, this is what you should be doing. If you love me, this is how you should have done. If you love me, this is this. How do you intend to control how a person reacts to a situation? That's crazy. Yes, there's an expectation that you should show care, but I should be able to respect. This is where respect comes. I should be able to respect that this is how you show care. I should be able to respect that this is the boundary of this person. This is how this person understands or responds to my needs. Everybody has needs. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but everybody has needs. Especially when you're going through something, you're going through a loss, or a loved one has, you've lost a loved one, or a health issue, or some crisis, financial crisis, or something. People go through issues, or people have needs, and they need people to stand by them. They need people to depend, that they can depend on, that they can count on. But it becomes excessive when you now want those people you are relying on, or those people you are counting on, to behave or react to your situation in a particular way. Or they should not forget. I've seen people where they would the person has to forget everything the person is doing, leave everything the person is doing, and just face you. You are like the only human, on the earth. In fact, there are some people, the disadvantage of this being emotionally very too needy is when it even affects their relationship with their parents, or with the other people that they have, colleagues and different things. Anytime the person wants to have an alone time, or to do something without you, maybe hang out with the boys, or hang out with the girls, or do something, it's always about you. Yeah, so why were you with them? Why didn't you spend time with me? Okay, why were you with them? Why didn't you do this and that? Okay, so did you have to go there? They always complain, and this is where nagging begins. Now, this is a clear sign. If the person acts like this during relationship, what do you think will happen in the marriage? You have maybe a business trip to go, you have somewhere to go, or you even just want to visit your family. It becomes a problem because the person cannot do without you. The person always feels that you are the center of the person's life, and so the person automatically believes you should be the center. He or she should be the center of your own life. So if it seems like you have something going for you, you're in a relationship with this person, or you're even married with this person, and it seems like you have other things you're doing, you have other things going for you, the person becomes insecure. The person becomes uncomfortable because, the person is wondering, why are you thriving without me? Why are you able to be happy without me? Because the person believes that for you to be happy, then it has to be something that has to do with the person. Now, that's wrong. That's completely wrong. So now, how can you be in a healthy relationship and not be vulnerable? So in this point, because I'll be summarizing or giving a light point and summarizing. So at this point, if you have, I'm sorry, I'm fast, I know, it's because I have a train to catch. So if you have a question, please drop it now and I'll try to answer before I end the broadcast. Or you feel it's more personal, of course, my social media platforms are on the comment section. So please, you can get to me through those mediums, and I will definitely answer your question. I'm always available. Yeah, of course, except at midnight because I have to sleep. Yes. So how then can you now be in a healthy relationship, okay, and not be too needy? Like I said from the beginning, being somewhat vulnerable, it's okay. Where you're open, you're open to love, you're open for the person to see through you, so the person can know if you're compatible or not. Because you see, if you hide some of these things at the time, you now get together and all, the person may not know you completely. So it's okay. Some form of vulnerability, it's all right. Yes. So, but what you can do that can help you have a healthy disease, nobody, no human is the source of your joy. No human is the source of your happiness. There is nobody. You shouldn't also, you see, when you put too much expectation on a human being. Everybody is fallible. Every human can, have some shortcoming. Nobody is perfect. So stop having too much expectation on people. Give room that people may fail, people may disappoint you, and you guys can work through it. Maybe the person did not do it intentionally and all. Let there be room, for such mistakes and all. I'm not saying be pessimistic and say, oh yes, I know that this person is going to hurt me. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is what maybe you expect, and then be open, have an open mind. What you expect that this is the person's reaction should be to your situation or to your need. Be flexible, be open. It may not be exactly that, but check bottom line, did this person care? Bottom line, was this person there for me? That's what you should be thinking about, and not have a preconceived notion or have it in your mind that this is, don't be straitjacket. Have it in your mind that, okay, this is how this person should behave, or this is how this person should act towards me. Know that your relationship, it's you bringing something to the table, it's you adding a plus to someone's life, just like the person will be a plus to your life. But you can't survive, you can't thrive without that person. You're only with that person because the two of you now joining force becomes more powerful, more formidable. But on your own as individuals, you guys can thrive. So there's nothing like, you're going to die, or you're not going to be able to stay without this person, or something is going to happen to you, if this person lives your life, and so you begin to cling, you cannot do without the person, you cannot think outside the person. Please, you've got a brain, and God has given it for a purpose, and that is to think, and that is to be able to take decisions on your own. Yes, especially when you are now a couple, that's why, depending on the dynamics of your marriage, yes, you guys can discuss decisions, you guys can come together to plan, and then you're working towards a common goal. So it's okay for you guys to discuss all that. But what I don't want, or I want to advise you, if you are the type who is too needy, is try to look inward. Because some of the time too, on the flip side, being needy is someone who doesn't have is not very self-confident or have a low self-esteem. If you need to talk to someone, you need to see a counselor, please do. But tell yourself, look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself you're the best version of you, because it's only you available. There's no other person else that can't be you. So tell yourself, I am, tell yourself good things. Look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself those things that you want to see for yourself, even if you may not have gotten there. But tell yourself, there's power in positive thinking and positive confessions. Tell yourself that you are A, you are B, you are C, and you are able to thrive, you're able to survive. Tell yourself that it's even an advantage for me to be with this person, and so I am supposed to help build this person, or we're supposed to build each other together. So I shouldn't be the one to draw the person back. And you see, with this neediness, you push people away. But then again, learn to know when is the difference between you being needy and the person running away, and when the person is not emotionally available. Some, out of pity, are just there, but they are not there. They are not emotionally available. Their heart and mind and soul are not there, but their body is just there physically. So they are just, so that's why I say in that instance, quote unquote, you're in relationship with yourself. Yes, so I just have about 5 minutes to round up. If you have questions, please, this is a time for you to put your questions. So, like I said in summary, it's okay to have some form of vulnerability, but don't be needy. Don't be too needy, and don't let your vulnerability be in excess. It's okay to be vulnerable, although some people also are afraid to be vulnerable because they feel if I am vulnerable, if I am that open, the person can take me for granted, the person can hurt me, the person can use me and all. Life itself is a risk. The fact that you're breathing is a risk. The fact that you're wherever you are, that you're watching this is risk. Anything can happen. The building can collapse. Anything can happen. Life itself is a risk. So be open to take risk. So it's okay for you to show some form of vulnerability. It helps the relationship thrive, because the person is able to see through you, read through you. But you see, in that vulnerability, be confident and know that if the person can't see me for who I am, then it's okay. The person can go. I would have to get someone else. It's not a problem. So please try not to be too clingy and needy, and always suspecting, always suspicious, always looking for one thing or the other, always clocking, choking the person. You can't allow the person breathe. That's wrong. It pushes people away, or it makes people tired. And you have to learn. There are some people who may not mind. Again, a few percentage of people who may not mind that your neediness, but it may get to a stage where, because you see, one thing with being needy is once it continue, it gets SS and even past the SS level, and it becomes a situation later, and you begin to wonder, he has changed, she has changed. Actually, maybe she was just managing or condoning. And that's why I say, you see, in marriage, they won't, even if you're now managing, for how long would you manage? Except you're the type who believes in divorce. For how long will you manage? 30 years, 20 years, 25 years, 50 years? How long would you manage? So if you see that it's not working, say the truth. The thing I see now is this generation, people are full of pretense, full of lies. You can even be in a relationship with the person and you really don't like the person, but you're just there, because, okay, what will my friends say? If I break up now, am I sure I'm going to find someone? People just have flimsy reason, flimsy excuse for staying together in a relationship that's not working. This is not marriage now. I mean just a relationship that's not working. Please, not every relationship must end in marriage. So if you see it's not working, or you try to talk to the person about the person's neediness and there is no change, take a walk. It's better to take a walk now. A broken relationship is better than a broken marriage. Take a walk. It's better. You will thank me later. Take a walk. You're not going to die. You feel that your heart is breaking into 1,001 pieces. Don't worry. When it breaks, it gets back together. You would be fine. So please discuss it. If you find out that someone is too needy in your relationship, tell the person you're being too needy. In a polite way. Though some people may take offense, but it's better to say the truth than to keep it and be dying in silence. Yes, so do I have any questions at this point? Because I will soon be logging. I know I was very, very fast. So please, you may take time to watch the video again if you can. And so you can get the points together. So do I have questions? Do we understand the difference between being vulnerable and being needy? If we don't have a question, I will be logging off soon. In a minute or two. In a minute or two. Okay, good afternoon. Let me see people who joined me. Abisai, I hope I pronounced that well. Thank you for joining me. Yes, I said hello to Ephraim already, and I think my love is online because I saw the like click. So thank you too for joining me. Okay. Yes, if we don't have a question, I will be logging out. If you think it's too personal, of course, my personal details are on the comment section. Please do well to get to me. Yeah, and I have this question to ask about this being vulnerable and being needy, because when I was researching, someone said if I am in a relationship and the person doesn't act needy, I feel the person doesn't want me. I feel the person doesn't it's not really down with the relationship. Is that how you feel? What do you think? You could put it in the comment section, even if I've logged off, and what you think about that. And I would reply definitely. Do you think if you're not needy in a relationship, it shows not you, not the needy person, the other person on the receiving end? Like if the person doesn't show that the person is, very needy, it show if the person is able to be independent of some sort, it shows that the person is not into you or not down with you. Is that the same? Do you feel the same? You can answer me now. I have 1 minute, but if you I say thinking about it, then please drop it in the comment section or drop it on our page inbox or on the comment section. Actually, I prefer on the comment section so others can see when they watch the video, and I would respond definitely. And please share if you haven't shared, and invite your friends to watch the video. Thanks for being with me. Bye.